What is up, America? Facebook, universe, world, however you want to put it. How's it going? Okay, so topic for today is going to be the COOF, or as we all more know so, the COVID-19. Sorry, again, it's July in Wisconsin. It's hot, humid, full of bugs, so bug dope, sweat, all the fun stuff. Anyways, the COOF. Here's what I understand about it from my research and knowledge. By no means am I a full-blown doctor, but I do have the ability to look and research stuff and at least have a halfway decent sense of what I'm talking about. Now, to start off, before y'all start whining and go, oh, you don't know how bad it is, oh, how dangerous it can be to some people, oh, I do have several underlying medical issues, one of them being diabetes. I'm 35, by the way, and I don't have type 2, I have type 1, so that means I'm even more susceptible, and then I have all the fun stuff that goes along with diabetes. Now, yeah, you'll never see me walking around with a face mask unless I'm like at the doctor's office where it's required. Okay, I won't go into a store that requires them. I won't go into a store that forces me to have my temp taken. Now, you have to realize, company technically is a private business, so they can tell you to do that. I feel that it is an invasion of my freedoms and my rights as an American. You want my money? Great. But then again, I'm also going to be the person that if I'm sick, I ain't going to be going out and running around and shit, you know. If I had to go out and I had symptoms of anything, I, right now, would probably wear a mask. Now, I'm pretty sure, I never went and got tested for it, but I'm pretty sure I had the COOF or something similar. It might have just been the frickin' flu, for all I know. Last I knew, and last I researched, it's been several months on that end of things, but the COOF tests, a lot of them actually just tested positive straight out the gate for the COOF without ever being used. That makes a whole lot of sense to me. That sounds kind of like a Lyme's disease test. The other thing is, last I knew, they tested for the same proteins that your body produces to fight this, which are the same proteins that your body produces to fight, the flu. No, the other thing that I don't get and I don't understand and it makes me cautious and definitely want to research it is for the simple fact that in order to test for the COOF, you have to take this swab and stick it back in your nasal cavity, and they're having you do it as an untrained professional. Now, not a lot of people have farm experience, and not a lot of people have experience even remotely doing stuff like that. And I can tell you right now, not only does it not feel good, but it is one of the weirdest fucking feelings in the world if you were going to go do that. No, it's kind of a gross scenario, but have you ever had one of those boogers that you tried to pull out and it literally pulls out of your sinus cavity and it like tickles the inside of your forehead, like in the back of your eyeballs? It's not fun. And it's not really tickle, it's just, it doesn't necessarily, I don't know about the Q-tip, but that doesn't exactly hurt, but it is the strangest feeling in the world. That being said, that being that I'm diabetic, I have several other underlying health issues that come with diabetes. Back in April-ish, beginning, end of April, I had either the coof or just a flu, dry cough, sweats, temp, and it drained me. Like, the first day wasn't too horrible. I just felt like shit, didn't want to do anything. No diarrhea or anything like that. That's kind of your flu symptoms. You don't want to eat, don't really want to do nothing. But then the next 2 days were probably the most god-awful flu days I've ever remembered in my life. And I've gotten the flu like twice since I was 13. So, like, I don't ever get it. But it drained me. I literally slept for 2 days straight. I didn't get out of bed unless... I didn't really get out of bed, period. The necessities, and that was like water and the excretion of that. But then the fourth day, felt pretty good. And by the fifth, sixth day, I was completely fine. Now, this is coming from somebody that, if I'd went into the doctor and had tested positive for it, I'd probably be looking at what, like a $50,000 to $300,000, $50,000 to $300,000 hospital bill. Does that make a whole lot of sense, especially when the hospitals are mostly empty and they're pushing off everything that they possibly can? Actually, people are dying because surgeries are getting pushed off. You know, there are emergency surgeries that are getting pushed off because they're not deemed important enough, and people are dying from them. I know a particular, well, I shouldn't say I know him personally. I know of a particular vet that happened to here in my state of Wisconsin. It's bothering to me. You know, it's bothering to me that either we as Americans no longer have the self-control to realize when we're sick and stay home and try not to infect other people, or that we are so scared and so placent and so ready to and willing to let the government tell us exactly what we need to do that we're just going to roll over and let them do it. This is horrible. This is scary. I mean, just for an example, look at Major League Baseball, the NBA. Boy, what else got canceled? You know, concerts, county fairs. It's ridiculous. You know, a lot of the counties are opening back up. A lot of the states are opening back up. Supposedly, we've seen a spike in the coof with all the rioting and protesting going on. Yet, they said we were going to see a spike in the coof when back in the end of April, all these states were protesting and people everywhere. My state, it was actually on my birthday, and wish I could have been there. Wasn't able to be. People everywhere, and even armed people, which props up. You know, kill two birds with one stone, so to say. You know, and I will keep my personal opinions on our governor to myself. But that being said, I will tell you, I doubt he will make it another term. I'd almost bet a year's worth of paychecks that he won't get reelected again. Now, on the opposite end, we've seen thousands of small businesses, even major businesses, have to close because of this. What is it? Anytime Fitness, I think it is closing hundreds and hundreds of stores across the U.S. Hell, my job was permanently affected because of the COOF. I know a lot of private business owners that have been really hurt by it. A lot of people that have lost their jobs to it, or had to go from getting a job that paid them $20 an hour to getting a job that paid them $9 an hour. Which, honestly, I think that's why the government did that whole stimulus, is try to keep people on unemployment. Well, there's some bastards like me that I know I'm going to be paying for it for years to come. Still looking for work. Just being slightly more, I ain't going to take just any fucking job right now. Starting to get to the point where I'm looking a little bit and expanding my search a little bit more, but, I'm going to pay for it in the long run. I might as well at least get my money that I'm going to be paying for. Oh, and by the way, I paid my taxes last year, and, never got that damn stimulus. Funny how that works, eh? Got it taken care of this year too, but I'm just saying. I mean, if you guys don't start putting the lines together on this, now we've got this whole thing of there's a cash and a coin shortage. If the stuff that has been happening hasn't been scaring you, and now that it's re-happening, still not scaring you, and the other stuff's still happening and it's not scaring you, this coin and cash shortage should terrify the fuck out of you. Because as a nation, we really, really need to realize that they've already taken us off the gold standard. That happened with the Federal Reserve. And that literally caused the Great Depression, in a way. It pretty much did. And if they're going to take us off of a currency, that's going to hurt us even more. And you need to be even more cautious and concerned. Start looking stuff up. Hell, I'll even challenge you to prove me wrong with multiple reliable sources for each thing. And I don't want to see just the BS from the WHO and the CDC. I want to see stuff from private independent pollings, private independent medical networks, stuff like that. Stuff that, one guy that I see all the time on Facebook, I watch normally, he said he went in, got tested for the COOF, and had it. I found it hilarious that he was quarantined. He quarantined himself longer, which is fine, but his symptoms lasted about the same amount of time, and he was on antibiotics and stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a farm kid. I have always had a very strong immune system. Obviously, do have a slight autoimmune disorder now because of the diabetes, but yeah, actually been a year, and pancreas is still kicking. I mean, it ain't completely dead yet. It's getting worse, but then again, I haven't been as active, and I ain't been as burning off as many calories. But start thinking about this stuff, start putting two and two together. Well, what I was saying with him, when he went in and they said, it's so hard to say what actually is going on with it, because every single day something changes, say medicine that Trump suggested because it was working in other countries. The U.S. said it wasn't going to work. Then they said that the U.S. isn't going to be able to make a vaccine for it or whatever because it's going away too fast. And now it's coming back. And now they're showing that the medicine that was originally suggested by other countries and Trump is working. And this ain't a pro-Trump thing. I'm just saying facts here, okay? I mean, all of this stuff getting put together, you know. They criticized Trump for shutting down in the first place, and then they said he should have done it sooner. You know, this is a political year, and you need to start looking at the facts versus... bugs are horrible. The facts versus popular opinion on Facebook and YouTube. Start looking at stuff for yourself. Don't take a meme off of Facebook and go, oh my God, that is such the truth. Seriously, guys. You know, and read thoroughly what you do share, because a lot of times it's got some little things in the end that just turn the whole thing into shit. And that being said, I think this video is just about over. Good luck. Stay safe. You know, if you want to social distance, do that if you have the ability to. Don't make everybody else live your life for you in order to be able to do that. But, you know, and wear a mask if you want to. You know, that really only does, literally, I worked in places, and I know those masks do nothing more than keep you from getting your spittle onto something else. It doesn't prevent you from, you know, breathing it in and all this other stuff that they're trying to say, you know. At best, it's an attempt to prevent transmission, but so many videos that I've seen on Facebook and YouTube, your gloves and your mask ain't doing nobody no good, because you ain't changing the shit, and it's not doing yourself any good. Get in your car, you drive to the store, you put on a mask, you put on gloves, go into that store, you touch a bunch of stuff, get in your car with the same mask, same gloves, drive to the next store, and do the same thing all over again. You touched anything in there that had it, you're getting it all over your steering wheel. Guess what happens? But all that being said, just start thinking a little bit. You know, start using this thing that you know, America's supposed to be one of the greatest nations on being able to use this, but it's called common sense. You know, it's one of the reasons we were built. It's one of the reasons our nation grew. But in that case, have fun, y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy your week, and peace.